It is official, and what a ride it has been. X-Wing Miniatures discontinued, shut down, an abandoned game. Armada discontinued, shut down, an abandoned game. So where do we go from here as X-Wing miniature enthusiasts, and what does the future bring? Now, one of the things I explored a little while ago that I pushed up to the Wargaming playlist is the idea of a dead game. This idea that every wargaming system, and X-Wing Miniatures is a wargaming system, it's only going to last so long. There's going to be some rule updates, there's going to be different expansions, but at some point, the game is not going to continue. And at that point, you're at a critical junction. If you're a collector, if you're a player, do you sell your collection or do you keep it? Now, I'm the opinion of you've invested the time, you've invested the money, you've got a good collection. This is the time to double down. This is the time when everybody else is selling their collection, and literally you can have a complete set, multiple ships, pick everything up on discount, and finish off the game at that high point. And at different times and at different places, bring the game out, play it, use it for other systems. It may be dead in that there's no official support, but we see this with every war game out there, including really a long time ago, recently at a convention. It's been probably, I don't even know, 30 years, something insane like that. The last time I sat down to play Star Frontiers, Nighthawks, that's D&D in space combat at a convention, I saw the metal miniatures and they were playing. It was a pickup game. And I was like, that is Star Frontiers. And I got to sit down and play that game, and all the memories associated with it. There is still a very active community locally where I am here in New York that plays the game. So just because the official support has ended and the company has shut that product line down doesn't necessarily mean the game is dead. However, on the opposite side of that, if you've been thinking about getting out or you want to kind of roll that into a new system or a new collection, now is the time to sell. Now, I'm a little bit surprised. So we've got that framework. I'm a little bit surprised that they dropped such a license to print money. Everybody knows Star Wars. The rules are just quick enough to pick up. The ships are pre-painted. You're ready to go. You buy them, you pop them out, you play them. Lots of variety in missions. Balance that 2.0 is supposed to correct is still a little bit all over the place, but I mean, every wargaming system has balance issues. There's a lot of positives. And while I might not know the metrics and mechanics behind the scenes, I just find it odd that it wouldn't be piloted. It wouldn't be pushed in a direction where it could continue on and be very, very profitable. Unless the kind of the consensus of Star Wars itself, you know, the kind of diehard fan base aside, that's everything Star Wars, unless that has shifted with Star Wars where, for whatever reason, it's just not profitable to do that. So I'm a little bit surprised that it was just handed off to a company which was clearly like the fire sale, just kind of wind it down, see what happens, see where it goes, and then eventually retire it. But it's done. Now, where does the game go from here? At some point in the future, will there be a resurrection? I don't know. That's interesting. If there is some sort of resurrection 5-10 years from now, you can be sure that your collection will not be compatible because the tech, the production costs, the molds, all that will be scrapped. So literally, it'll be a new physical representation of the game. There'll be updated rules. There'll be updated systems. But at that point, can it come back? Can it recover? Never say never. But I think this is kind of the end of X-Wing Miniatures for good. And looking back, you know, there was a time when it was going to be the number one, or it was the number one system, beating out Warhammer 40,000. Perhaps the only thing that ever made Games Workshop truly terrified was X-Wing Miniatures. Literally, you could go anywhere and play this game. So it's interesting to see the humble beginnings of it, how fast it took off, how it dominated the top. First mistake was going to 2.0. It's a board game. It's not a war game. and then the quick descent of it to where we are right now. So certainly an end of an era. I will be keeping my collection. I will be topping it off with a couple of more ships that I want to pick up. And every couple of months, I'll bring it out, make some lists. We'll bring it to the club. We'll play some big games. We'll roll some dice. We'll have some fun. It's still very, very far from being over just because it's discontinued.